So, I figured I'd change it up a little bit and angle the camera more this way so y'all can see more of what I got going on the wall. I'm repping the, Artificial Armory. You can't even see it. It's fine. Artificial Armory shirt. You should get them. They're gonna have merch soon. They're super cool. But I want to talk about this today, which is not something talked about that often. I don't even think there was very many reviews when this came out, but this is kind of, I feel like, a precursor blaster to a lot of the super cool fun stuff that we have now, like this thing right here. But yeah, so this is the Worker Hurricane, and it is far from that. I wouldn't even say this is a tornado, to be honest. This is like maybe a light gust of wind, like a gentle breeze, if anything. What is this? Well, this is technically a revolver, and it was one of Worker's first entrances into the sidearm style thing, and it was a pretty terrible. It's bad, guys. It's just real bad. I don't even have batteries in this one. It's not even worth really putting batteries in. The cage spacing is like enormous, and yeah, this is the beginning of micro flywheels, and it's just bad. But for the time, it was like a mediocre. Not really though. It really wasn't mediocre. Nobody was really using these when they came out. And yeah, I'm kind of gonna go front to back, pros and cons. If you can find one of these, pick it up, because they're kind of cool, a little piece of history, and they're super weird looking. But yeah, so starting up the front, there's nothing. It's just essentially a cube. No, it's not a cube. It's like a rectangle with some angles on it. It's moving back. There's more boxes. Here's a box, and then there's some flywheels, and then there's a trigger mechanism that just kind of flicks the darts up in there. Actually, can I come down here? Oh, I can come down here. All right, this is cool. I like this. So yeah, this just kind of just like flicks the darts into the flywheels, and there's a switch back there. Click. And then there's these little things. These are detents, so that when you kind of put it in, you're not, it clicks in a little bit. There you go. And then there's a knob, which is my favorite part, because I have ADHD, and this is really fun to do. And then there's an on and off switch. Trigger, comfortable. Handle, comfortable. It's actually a really comfortable blaster. On the bottom here, got a little thing. This slides out. It's a battery tray for AA's, or those things that we're not supposed to use, lithium ions. Yeah, don't use those, but like maybe do if you know what you're doing. But yeah, you can put those in there, or you can just cut these off. They made it like, they made this come out so you can put a LiPo in there if you really wanted to, but like don't, because it's not really worth it. So why am I so like whatever about this blaster? Well, first of all, it's technically a revolver. If we're being honest here, this is a revolving 6-dart cylinder. You can kind of see inside there it spins, and what happens is as each dart gets flung out, it indexes the next one, which is a pretty good system. You can get some full-length darts pretty quickly out of this thing, and for the time that it was released, it was mediocre at best. I keep saying the time when it was released like it wasn't like just a couple of years ago, but it really was. And honestly, this hobby has like exploded, and there have been tons and tons of new things like that are infinitely better than this that have come out since then. But this was kind of just like the first one, and it's special for that reason. Now, do you want to pick one of these up? I wouldn't buy it new. I actually forgot I had this until I found it, just kind of lying around in my basement, and so I figured I'd do a little review on it, because I don't hate it. I think it's really weird looking. It reminds me of one of those like money blasters that you see on like AliExpress, the ones that just like shoot bills out, but it shoots darts out. I'm pretty sure they included like a lot of extra space up here for a 2-stage system, but like I don't know why you'd ever want to do that. There's a bunch of aftermarket stuff for these, like cages, and well, that's really all you can do to it. I don't think the community ever really adopted this, so there's not much you can print community-wise, except for a battery tray that makes this take magazines. So if you wanted this thing to look even more ridiculous than it already does, you could have a huge mag sticking out the top. Sorry, I'm looking around for a mag. I don't have one like that's reachable, but yeah, you could just put a mag on top, and then it's like the most ridiculous thing ever. But I think that's kind of what makes it special. And if you're like a family oriented, if you're a family man and you just want something to plink around with, maybe your younger kids, this is actually really good for that. The FPS is really low, it doesn't hurt, it's not super difficult to use, and it's pretty hard to mess one of these up. You can drop it, you can bump it, you can probably throw it at a wall and it'll be fine. It's not going to break or anything like that. The mechanism is really robust. It's stupidly simple. It's essentially like it's a one switch design. It's so simple. And there is actually a couple body kits made by Worker for this that had like a foregrip and a front section. They really tried to cash out on this thing, and they just honestly failed miserably. The kits at this point cost more than the blasters themselves. I don't even think you can get this on the Worker website anymore, but yeah, if you have one, and I've seen a couple that have been painted really neat, these things are cool, and they're a little piece of history, and it will stay up on my wall, and it's very, very obviously a precursor to this thing that I've been pointing at like a million times, the Nightingale, which is infinitely better. It's like honestly one of the best things we've ever had in the hobby, and that's really cool. And I firmly believe that, you know, it kind of started with this, which was a pretty big failure. But yeah, all right. Well, that's the Worker Hurricane. It's something, all right. But yeah, if you ever see one of these, like, I don't know, thrifting, I doubt many of these actually exist out in the wild. They were like super unpopular, so I guess they're kind of rare. But like, don't spend more than $20 on this thing, guys. It's like probably not even worth that, to be honest. And for like some sidearm plinking, pretty good, can't complain there. But for like modability, I mean, like, yeah, you could mod it, but like, why would you do that? You could build literally anything better. Like a strafe build would be better and cost probably about the same to build and would actually be usable. So yeah, probably do that. Thanks for watching, guys. Like my channel, please. Or wait, no, that's not how it works. Subscribe, that's the right thing. Subscribe, like this video, leave a comment if you have one of these. I'd love to see some paint jobs or like whatever you got going on, because I saw a shark one once. It's really cool. I think it's like the Nerf Cosmetic Modders backdrop is like, I think it might be James's Shark Hurricane, and it looks pretty neat. But yeah, definitely let me know what you think of this thing, because it is an interesting piece of Nerf history, and a pretty small drop in the bucket for sidearms, but maybe an important one. Thanks for watching, guys.